Greetings, fellow PSO2 fans. Wanted to make a little video today about how to augment. So, I'm going to go through a couple of different things here. But my goal is I'm going to augment this Psycho wand here that I have. And I'm gonna be putting a bunch of stuff on it. As you can see down in the bottom right, it has 6 abilities on it. It has 6 augments already. I purchased it this way, like someone had it up for a pretty good deal, so I just went ahead and snagged it, and I figured I'd put some money into it, and I'm going to pretty much get rid of everything that's on it except for the Elder Soul. So I'm going to be doing quite a bit of stuff with this. I'm going to actually, my goal at the end of this is I'm going to put 150 tech on this, 150 tech power, and 14 PP, I believe, is what our end results should be. So let's go ahead and get started here. Alright, so something I want to point out is the Psycho wand has, like all weapons, once they hit level 35, when you enhance them to 35, you can see if you hit the button on them, you can go down to confirm augment factor, and you can see like certain weapons at plus 35 will have like an innate built-in thing. It's like an ability factor. It's an augment. And that means once this weapon hits 35, you can freely augment with this augment on here with 100% success rate as much as you want to. It's built into the weapon. So I'm actually going to be using that in this mix. Something else I'm going to be doing here is I have this jet boot that I got. You can trade in photon boosters for like the different 11 stars, and they all have like flicked armor, like alter armor, magia, stuff like that. This one here I'll show you, it has confirm augment factor, it has flick magia 100%, and you can see it's technique 20, PP 3. So I'm actually going to be destroying this weapon. I'm actually going to be putting it on the Psycho wand and basically just getting rid of it. I'm just going to be using it for its 100% ability. So first off, I'm also going to be putting modulator on this weapon. And in order to pass modulator, I'm going to show you a little bit of stuff here. Let's just put a couple examples on the screen. So if I was to pick my Psycho wand right now, and if I was to pick, let's say I wanted to pick like an Elder Soul, and maybe if I wanted to pick like 2 modulators, we'll see I'm going to have this casting 4 here at the 100% because that's built into the Psycho wand at plus 35. I have this special ability factor here. So I could choose that, and that would be 100%. You could see some of these other things that I could pick, like Precision 3 would be 60%. There's ways that I could actually boost this if I wanted to with different souls, like souls that support range attack would boost Precision, for example. Like if I was to have Elder Soul here, you can see Elder Soul's only 50%. I used 2 souls to make Elder Soul pop up in the list. It was on my base Psycho wand, and it was also just on a junk piece that I chose. So you can actually make this percentage even higher. If I'm gonna back out of here again. Let's say we're starting fresh at Monica. I'm gonna pick my Psycho wand, and then I'm gonna pick 2 souls. So if you use 3 souls, you'll actually have 80% base chance for Elder Soul. And it works the same way on any soul. It can be Ragne Soul, Fang Soul, Vol Soul, all sorts of different souls. Basically, any of the ones that you want to focus on is anything that supports attack for your weapon. And then usually they all either add like 3 PP or 20 HP, or some of them have like 10 HP and 2 PP, I believe. There's like kind of like a mixed balance one, like Fang Soul. Basically just any of those souls. If you have 3 in the list, if you have 3 souls, you can transfer the soul onto anything you want to at 80% rate. Now, if I wanted to pick this stuff, let's say if I was to just pick all this junk 100%, well, that went away because you can only have 1 type of casting. There's level 4. I'm just gonna pick a bunch of junk just to show some examples here and not actually hit the button. But if I was to pick all this stuff, you can see all those percentages there on the right. Like the Elder Soul would be 80%. The Might 3's 30%. That's really low. We're not gonna actually do that. We're just using an example here. So if I was to hit this, you could actually use like an augmentation aid here. 10%, would make, you know, it would add 10% onto the Elder Souls. Now it would be 90%. That's still no good. We still don't want to do that. Like, it's still too low. We want to try to use like a 30% booster. So what you might not know is you can trade in EX cubes for booster items. If you go up here towards the casino, take a left, the EX cube trade shop lady, she has the ability to trade in towards the bottom here. You could trade in for augmentation aid 30%. You can also trade in for augmentation aid 40%. Now these are really expensive. They cost 100 EX cubes. I would suggest not using these unless you really got something special. These augmentation aid 30%, these are, you know, these aren't too bad. It's pretty cheap. It takes like 20 cubes to make one. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab up some of these. And something else that's a little tip here, in case you didn't know, for getting a hold of photon boosters. These drop into AQs, so I'm sure if you're running AQs, you're probably getting loads of these things. Hopefully you have automatic item acquisition on, so you just automatically pick these things up in your inventory. What's really cool about these, you take these to the photon drop swapper lady here. If you choose Photon Booster Exchange, she has all these different weapons here. This jet boot, for example, is the one that I'm gonna be using on my Psycho Wand affix, because it has the flick magia, like I explained a minute ago. So actually, if I'm not mistaken, so like these would have like the striking like alter and flick hero armas. The two range weapons would have like the Tyros, that would be like the range attack versions of the flicked and alters, and the two tech attack weapons here would have the alter and flick versions of the tech. And what it is one's focused on HP, one's focused on PP. I'm gonna go for the PP one, so that's why I went for the jet boot here. But anyways, you can trade in your photon boosters here for these 11 stars. And like you can see, I just traded in for all those daisy chains there. I could just take these immediately to the swap shop and get EX cubes for them. And I could just turn all those into EX cubes if I want to. And there we go. That's just like 5 EX cubes. You know, so that's a way that you could do something with your photon boosters that you're getting in the AQs. I had like 20,000 of these or something laying around, so I just got like loads of EX cubes from them. And basically just get your boosters from this lady, you know, and then you'll be able to do some pretty nice augmenting with these little 30% aids and possibly 100%, 100 cubes for the 40% aid, if that's what you're going to do. But anyways, so we're going to go ahead and do a little prepping here. We're going to prep this jet boot like I mentioned before. And the reason that we want to... So what we want to do here is we want to get this jet boot to have Elder Soul on it, because in my lineup, I'm going to need to have 3 modulators, and I'm also going to need to have 3 Elder Souls. And in order for me to have 3 modulators, I'm not going to mess with those. Like, I already have those weapons. They was pretty expensive. I bought them just to make the Psycho Wand pretty nice. Most people probably won't mess with this modulator, but that's what I'm going to be doing, just because I wanted to make something fancy. So I'm going to need 3 slots for the modulator. And then I'm going to need 3 slots for the Elder Soul, which you're only able to have a target weapon and 5 fodders. So since 3 of the fodders is going to be modulator already, that only leaves me with 2 slots for Elder Soul. So this jet boot's going to be taking up one of those slots too. So essentially right now, unless I do something to affix onto this jet boot that I'm going to be destroying, I essentially need 7 fodders at the moment. So I'm gonna have to destroy this thing. Well, not destroy it, but I'm gonna have to augment it to have Elder Soul on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the jet boot, and I'm gonna just grab some Elder Souls here. You need to something else I want to point out too is, like, you have to have matching affix numbers. Like this jet boot, for example, 6 slots. I can only augment this with 6 slots or higher. Like, I could actually, like, pick the jet boot, that's what I'm going to be putting stuff on, and then any of these, they have to, like, it's only going to show me 6 slots, of course. I could actually, like, use, like, 7 or 8 slots if I wanted to. It wouldn't increase the slots of what I'm throwing it on, it would just let me use it. It would let me use that stuff as junk. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Elder Soul, and then I've got another Elder Soul in here somewhere. Let's see, here's another one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that Elder Soul too. And I'm going to be throwing Arx Fever on this thing. So something cool about Arx Fever is it's 100% transfer rate. Arcs Fever adds 5 to all attack, 5 dex, and 5 PP. So everybody likes the big PP, right? We're gonna be putting a lot of PP on the Psycho one. It's gonna be crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that too. I'm gonna put that on my jet boot as well. So now that you see in the middle of the screen, I've got 4 out of the 5 fodders that I'm allowed. I'm gonna go ahead and just hit the confirm button here, and it's gonna bring up a whole list of different things that I can pop on here. I'm gonna go ahead and use this Flick Magia because that's what I want on the jet boot. It's just built into it, but yeah, I'm gonna use that. Then I'm going to pick my Elder Soul. Where's it at down here? Here we go. So see, the Elder Soul's at 80% because I have 3 in the list right now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. I'm going to grab this Arcs Fever, which is 100% with just 1. And then I'm just going to fill up the rest of it with just junk, because everything else is going to be pretty much pointless. It won't really matter what I throw on here. Just grab anything that's like 100%, or even like some 80s if you wanted to, you know, like I'm going to grab this. Oh, yeah, don't do that. So like, if you try to upslot, like say right now I just picked 7 abilities, you can see right there in the middle of the screen, it's all flashing red, danger, danger. It's going to lower the chances of everything dramatically, because you'd be trying to upslot to 7 slots. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to click the button on that, take that back off there. So anyways, we got our junk on there. We go ahead and start the affix augment. I'm gonna click the little drop box here, and I'm gonna throw my 30% booster on here. You can see now I've got Flick Magia Elder Soul, and everything's 100%. It cost me 20 EX cubes to do this. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw down on that. There we go. Alright, so now I've got one of my fodders prepped here. So now I've got an Elder Soul on this jet boot, which is essentially Flick Magia and Elder Soul together. So everything else I have is pretty much prepped now. Now all I'm going to have to do is click this, actually no. I'm going to go back to my storage here. I have a bunch of booster items. I'm going to grab out one of these. I'm going to grab one of these Affix, Augment, Technique, and PP. These things are amazing, if you didn't know. Like whenever you go to Augment, it's pretty nice to use these. So, alright, so I got that. I'm going to go ahead and grab Psycho Wand. Then I'm going to grab my jet boot. I'm going to be putting that on there, destroying it. I'm going to grab these modulators. The modulator is actually pretty much the same thing as a soul. If I was to use 2 modulators, it would only come up as 50%. If I use 3 modulators, it'll come up in the list as 80% transfer rate. Basically the same thing as a soul. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose 3 of those. And then I'm going to need 1 Elder Soul, so that's I just got this junk Elder Soul here. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the list. And then you can see in the middle of the screen there, I've got 5 fodders along with my target item up at the very top. You can see the target item at the top, your material items in the middle, which is your fodder. It's all going to be destroyed. And then hit the confirm here. It's going to ask you if you want to use the Affix Augment Technique PP. You click yes. And now something I like to do, just because I hate for this to show up first, it automatically picks this. If I was to leave this way, it would put the noble casting in the top left. Just a little pet peeve of mine. I like to select it last. I think it looks better. It looks fancy. So I'm gonna actually I'm gonna pick out the way I want my weapon to look in a particular order, just because I like to. You could do it any which way you want, but I'm gonna pick Elder Soul here, and then I'm going to go to the top here. I'm gonna grab my casting 4. That sounds cool. And let's see. So then we want. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the modulator next. And then the Flick Magia. And then I'm going to throw on the Arcs Fever. And now last I'm going to go ahead and select the Noble Casting. And then you can see I've got my 6 slots. I could actually, like I mentioned before, I could try to upslot it if I want to. But it's going to be really low chances. I don't suggest doing that. Never do this on your final affix. Like if you ever want to try to upslot, you should only do it with things that are 100% and things that are cheap, because it's probably all gonna fail. Like never do this. So I'm just gonna take that back off there. Just wanted a little example, and just to be safe, I'm gonna closely look at that again. So I got my Elder Soul, got my Casting 4, Modulator, Flick Magia, Arcs Fever, Noble Casting. All right, so we're good. Go ahead and click the button here. I'm gonna click to make sure you don't mash the button, because it highlights yes. Like you could just accidentally gamble those 280s and they'll probably fail, and then you'll Yeah, you'll just be screwed. So choose the little augmentation 30% here, and check that out. Look at that. We got all that stuff 100% now. Because we use 3 souls, we use 3 modulators. We use the special ability factor to make the casting off the Psycho Wand. We use the special ability factor for the Flick Magia off of the Jet Boot that's built in. Arc's Fevers is 100% on its own. The Noble Casting is 100% on its own because it's a little booster item you get from like AC Scratch. I bought it from player shops, so they're pretty cheap. So yeah, let's go ahead and hit the button here. Look at this. There we go! Psycho Wand! Alright. So, Psycho Wand is now max 35 cap, has 150 tech, 14 PP. We even got 5 decks out of that. Look at that. Cool. That was the goal we was going for. Look at that, big numbers too. Got 1,747 tech. This thing's gonna be pretty nice. It should be hitting pretty strong.
Don't be a stranger. Okay.
So, that was pretty advanced for affixing, for augmenting. I'm sure it's very confusing. I'm going to go ahead and show a bit of augmenting on a unit here. That's so I have this double unit I'm going to use here. And the reason I'm going to use this is because I have plans on getting the Whittle Wing that's a rear unit from Title Rewards. And since I'm going to be using that, I figured I'd go ahead and get the arm and the leg double units to combo with it, just because it's just be kind of a little fun unit set to use for now. It's something I never used on JP. I figure I'll mess with it on here. It'll be a pretty decent little thing for not a bad price. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna augment this this double unit. I'm gonna expand these slots on this. I'm gonna make it 5 slot, and I'm gonna start off using Arc's Fever because Arc's Fever is pretty expensive, but I want it on my like, if you start off at lower slots, it's pretty good to up slot with it because it's 100% anyways, and it's cheaper at lower slots. Like, I bought this one for like, I think it was like 400k, and as the slots increase, it just gets higher and higher. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stick the Arc's Fever on this. I'm just gonna stick some old regular junk on here too. Let's see, I got another 1 slot. So basically, when you're 1 slotting, you want to look for, when you're upslotting, you want to look for abilities that are going to show up as 100% here in this list. Things that would be like Casting 1, Reflex 1, Deafness 1, just anything with a 1 basically is going to be like a 100%. It's like a, I have like a high chance. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Arc's Fever, and I'm going to choose Reflex, just some junk. And I'm going to use the 10% augmentation aid. I'm just going to use one of those. That's going to make it 100%. Really easy for the 2 slot, up slot here.
Thank goodness.
And then I'm going to basically do the same thing again, except with 2 slot units this time. And I'm going to just pick I'm just going to pick this just because it doesn't matter as long as you want to always use 2 fodders. I didn't explain that before. So using 2 fodders actually increases the chance higher. So check it out actually. I'll show you here. If I was to just pick this right here, like this Deft and Genius, it's this 1 fodder here. If I was to upslot, let's see how it shows 75% when I'm trying to go to 3 slots. And I only have 1 fodder picked there in the middle of the screen. Material item, I only have 1. If you pick 2, it actually increases the chances. And it's going past that doesn't increase the chances anymore. Picking 3 or 4 or whatever, like it's just basically you want to always use like 3 things at least. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to this again, choose the same stuff I just showed a moment ago. And see, now you can see it has a 10% higher chance than it did previously. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to click on use my booster item again. Got 10%. And you can see now I have 95% chances for everything to go to 3 slots. I'm going to go ahead and hit the button. Hopefully nothing fails. Oh, well, it's good for an example on the video, right? 95% can fail. It's just like toss of the coin. So I'm gonna have to actually go over here and buy something else junky that's a 2 slot to make up for that failure real quick. I tried to buy enough fodder so I didn't have to actually purchase anything making the video. I know this video is a little long, just because augmenting is really complex. As you can see, probably if you're watching this video right now, I'm sure you're probably like, what in the world is going on? Because this is a really in-depth system, and not knowing what you're doing, you can easily lose track of what's going on. On the Japanese servers, we actually have a simulator that makes this a lot easier. All right, so I've got my I got my 2 junk units again. I just purchased just some old slop that had, like, you know, level 1 stuff on it there. The might one's gonna work, the Gale Ward one's gonna work, the toughness one's gonna work. That Ragne Soul's junk, I can't use that because that's a low chance of passing. But all those 1 things, I'm gonna be using those. All right, so I'm gonna choose my double unit again here. Choose my 2 slot units. Alright, so I'm just gonna pick that stuff. Got my Arx Fever. I'm gonna try again with another 10%. Let's gamble it. See what happens. There we go. Alright. Good. Thank goodness, Monica, indeed. I should probably be using Duty for this. He's more fun in PC, I think. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing now, but upslotting this to 4 slots. This is where it's gonna start getting risky. She definitely does not want to pass my stuff at this point. She didn't even want to make me have a 3 slot before. Alright, so we're going to choose Arx Fever. And then there's some more 100% stuff. Now you can see it's starting to get to the 70% range. Like, pretty good chance something's going to fail. Like, I feel like I don't want it to fail. I could use a 30% booster. Same time, this Arx Fever is so expensive right now. I really don't want to gamble the Arx Fever. And I'm pretty good on cubes, really. So I'm just going to use this 30%. You probably should gamble with the 10%. But for the video's sake, I just want this to be done. I'm going to use the 30% for the video's sake. If you're doing this yourself, you might want to rethink using a 30% for your 4-slot upslot. But that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm just going to do that. 100%, you know, dodged a bullet there. Monica didn't mess us over. Oh, I actually used my 4 slots there instead of my 3 slots. Either way, I made a little mistake here. That's what happens when you're not really paying attention. You'll use some fodder you don't mean to. So something else I want to point out at this moment with talking about mistakes. Make sure you always lock your stuff that you don't want to lose, because in the middle of, like, augmenting, you can totally destroy stuff, you know. So, like, if I didn't have my double unit here locked, for example, I could totally pick one of these other, like, 4 slots, and I could put this double unit on one of them, and it would just make my double unit go poof. It'd be gone. Which would not be good. Alright, so we're gonna upslot this double unit one more time with the 2 4 slots here. Just some junky stuff. Choose my Arx Fever first, and then just some 100% stuff. Oof, it's 60% chance now. I don't like these odds. Oh, and I need to go get another booster too. So I actually have some boosters in storage. I'm not going to bother going up the stairs there. I'm just going to grab these out. Right, so grab my unit here. Click the 2 junks. Arx Fever, 100%. Get the upslot going. 30% booster. Now, I do have a 40% affix booster sitting in storage. They cost 100 cubes. I'm not going to gamble it. If this Arx Fever fails, I'll probably stop the video at this point and just go kill Darkfell's Elder with my rage. Alright, so let's hit the button. Let's hit yes.
Success!
Hey, there we go. Alright, so it worked. We got Arx Fever, and we got a bunch of junk on it. Alright, so we're good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, like, do a proper affix on this piece here. What I'm basically going to do is I'm going to put Elder Soul on it. I'm going to put Casting 3 on it. I'm going to put the Arx Fever, of course, which is already there. That's going to be a 100% chance. I'm going to put one of those Noble Tech things. That's already, that's going to be 100% too. It's a little capsule. And then I'm also going to put Spirit 3. So, cool thing about this is I already have a lot of this fodder bought. Let me make sure I don't have it on me though. Alright, let's see. I'm just gonna store these junk things. I'm gonna lock and store this other Arx Fever for now because I don't wanna get confused even more. Alright, so I'm going to look at my storage here. I know I have some of the stuff that I need already. Alright, so I'm going to use some of these 5-slot Elder units. I already purchased these earlier from the player shops for pretty decent prices. It was like 400k each. It's a little costly, but it's not bad. And then, alright, so I got 3 of those. 3 souls, that's going to make 100%. And then I'm going to look for casting 3. I know I got some of those in my inventory. Now, if I didn't already have these, I would just buy them from the player shop. I already did that earlier. So I'm cutting that out of the video. I'm not going to go shop for everything. But anyways, so I got a casting 3 there. And then I'm also going to use a spirit 3. Alright, so got one of those. Bought that earlier too for real cheap. It's like 100k or something. There we go, so I got that. So that's my 5 fodders already. I'm gonna go ahead and grab up my another one of these affix augment technique PPs. Got that. And then I know I already have the 30% extra. I got an extra 30% booster on me, so I'm good on that too. Alright, so let's go check my double unit here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick on it. And then I'm going to pick my Elder Soul, Elder Soul, Elder Soul. So there's my 3 soul fodders. And cool thing about Elder Soul is it actually works this way with all the souls. So like there's 3 different striking souls, like 3 different melee powered souls. There's 3 different range souls, 3 different RNG souls. And then there's 3 different tech souls. The soul that boosts the attack that you're trying to use will also, it'll also like increase its transfer rate. So like say for example, I'm going to show down here in the bottom right, you can look at Elder Soul. Elder Soul adds 30 tech, so it's a technique soul. It adds 3 PP, so it's a PP soul as well. It's like PP and tech. Since it adds technique, this soul in particular will increase the odds of transferring casting 3. So I only need to have 1 casting 3 in the list here, because normally casting 3 would be a 60% base chance. If I was to have 2 casting 3s, it would be an 80% chance. But since I have the Elder Soul on the list, it's going to boost casting 3 by 20%. So it's actually going to make this 80% just having 1 on the list, which is really nice. And then Elder Soul does the exact same thing for Spirit 3. Spirit 3 is like a 4 PP. Elder Soul, since it has the tech and the PP, it boosts the transfer rate of Spirit 3, which would normally be 60% as well. And since Elder Soul boosted, it's going to make it base of 80 as well. So I'll go ahead and pick it. I'm going to pick this affix augment technique and PP item. I'm gonna do the same thing like I did a while ago on my weapon. I'm gonna get rid of having the noble casting first. I don't like that. You know, do whatever you want. You could put like the Spirit 3 up here at the top, and then the noble casting and the Archfever Elder Soul. You can make this thing just look however you like. But I'm pretty picky about this. So I like to do my Elder Soul, and then do a casting 3, and see. I have the 80% casting 3 like I mentioned because I have the Elder Soul, which is boosting the rate of this casting 3 by 20. It's boosting at 20%. If I didn't have the Elder Soul in here, this would be 60% instead. So I'm going to go ahead and pick... What else do I want to pick yet? Here, let's do Archfever, I think. Spirit 3. Noble Casting. We like that. Now I'm going to put the... I'm actually going to put Spirit 3, Archfever, Noble Casting. I think that looks cooler. I don't know. Really, it looks kind of weird. Either way, but yeah, just pick whatever order you want. That's what I'm gonna roll. Oh no, I don't like that either. Let's see if I can do that. Archfever, Spirit 3, Noble Casting. Yeah. Either way, it looks weird to me. I'm not a fan of the list, but it's gonna be good. So I'm gonna hit yes. Make sure you go up to the little drop box, hit your 30% booster, and bam, got everything to 100% augment rate again. I'm gonna go ahead and click yes.
Success!
And there we go. So now we have one of our units I fixed, or augmented, I should say. It has 95 tech and 15 PP. So got the big PP units over here. It's gonna be pretty good. Something cool about the double unit in particular, it's an arm and a leg combo. It adds 20 PP and 120 HP, I believe. I think that's what it is. And then the I mentioned before, I'm going to be getting the 250 title reward Whittle Wing, and that unit on its own adds 10 PP. So altogether with these two double units and the Whittle Wing, I'm going to have 30 PP with my units. And then on top of that, I'm going to probably be doing like a similar affix to this on everything, so like 15 PP each on all that. So that's going to put me somewhere around 175 PP before I get my unit, I believe. Something like that. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty good. You know, while I'm here, let's go ahead and do the right thing and enhance this unit too. Let me go ahead and make this thing plus 10, because nobody wants to have unenhanced units, right? Just really simple. Mash the button.
Thank goodness. Success! Thank goodness.
And pretty much when it comes to enhancing units, I've showed this before. I just mash the button. It's gonna get there eventually. Usually isn't very hard to enhance stuff for when it comes to units. Usually every time I say that though, it'll start failing a bunch and make me look like an idiot. Either way, I'll just mash the button. It's gonna go. We'll get there eventually. It's costing a little bit of money per time. 17k. There we go. So we got plus 10 unit. Alright, so that's done now. So I'm basically going to be doing more like this, but this is all I'm going to show for now in the video. It's a pretty long video. It's not as detailed as I would like it to be. I know that this system is really complex, the augmenting. It's really hard for me to fully explain how everything works with this system, but that's just kind of like some basics there. Like you could do exactly what I did in this video to an extent and just make yourself some pretty nice gear. You don't even have to go for 5 slots like I did. You could actually just go for 4 slots or 3 slots or 2 slots even, you know. Just doing like a basic soul and some like attack stat, you know. It's pretty simple stuff. Just use 3 souls so it's 80%. Make sure you use like attack that's gonna be supported by your soul. And yeah, that's about it. I guess thank you all for watching the video. Hope you found it informative. Feel free to leave me any questions or comments below, and I'll try to reply back to them when I can. I tend to stream on Twitch quite often, and I like to shout out to anybody that comes into my stream. You know, if you ever have questions or want to know some info or even just like chill and hang out, feel free to come check out my stream. It's Ninja Cheeto on Twitch TV. So yeah, just hope to see you all another time. Yeah, I hope you found the video informative. Have a good one.